What's going on, everybody? If you're seeing this page, that means the official Torian Rain Reloaded merch store is now available. To get access to the store, make sure you go ahead and click the store tab on my YouTube channel. From there, you will be able to see all the merch that is available. We have mugs, shirts, hoodies, joggers, and so much more to come. All original designs made by yours truly, Torian Rain Reloaded. Now go ahead and get your merch today, and you can feel nothing in style.
New tonight, it was a wild confrontation between a San Diego police officer and a violent suspect that was caught on camera. CBS 8's Brian White is in Ocean Beach to explain what happened here.
The confrontation that's been circulating on social media happened right out here on Newport Avenue as the officer tried subduing this aggressive man. The suspect, unfazed by the taser, continuing to growl and move toward the officer. He strikes the suspect twice with his baton, that too proving ineffective. While the officer keeps his distance, the suspect, now identified as William Williams, walks back to his Toyota Tacoma, gets in the truck, and speeds away. Police were originally called out because Williams was allegedly threatening someone with a screwdriver a few blocks away. After this moment was caught on tape by someone who works nearby, Williams led police on a pursuit north on Sunset Cliffs Boulevard, where he crashed into a parked car, then reversed, crashing into a police squad car before heading north again. This video was captured moments after police laid out a spike strip, disabling 3 of Williams' tires. The truck slowly came to a stop at West Point Loma Boulevard.
We couldn't see the ends, but yeah, it was like 20 or 30 cops was here. It was crazy. I never see something like that before.
They deployed a canine on Williams, who was still combative. He was tased again and then handcuffed. SDPD Lieutenant Jose Chavez thinks this officer did the right thing.
In this situation, I think he utilized his training to create that distance and not allow the male to get to him, because it could have been a deadly force situation if that male would have gotten to him.
People I talked to in OB think this officer showed a lot of discipline.
He showed a whole lot of restraint, and he was backing away from the guy.
I think he did a good job. I think he kept his distance, trying to apprehend the guy.
Williams is currently in custody at the Central Jail, facing numerous charges, including assault with a deadly weapon and possession of a controlled substance. In Ocean Beach, Brian White, CBS 8.
So y'all just saw that right there. First you saw the actual raw clip of the actual incident itself, and then you saw the news clip itself, and to get more detail about what was going on. And when I got tagged in this, I said I already know how I'm gonna handle this, but before I actually get into it, let me go and see if there was a news coverage of this particular incident. By the way, I'm recording this video on December 10th 2023, and this story came out 2 days ago, I believe, on the 8th, and the video, well, the news story came out 2 days ago on the 8th, but the video started circulating on the internet, more so Twitter /X, on the day before, on the 7th, and it's pretty much gone viral since then. So you have this incident right here happening outside of a Target. Initially when you're watching it, with this guy in the red shirt, and I think this right here, this picture that I have up, is the perfect one to use because this tells so much. Who literally got into it with somebody else. They said they was chasing after them with a screwdriver. Of course, initially we didn't know that based on that first part of the video until the news clip actually spoke on what happened before leading up to that. And you have this cop right here who they say is trying to subdue him, and I'm sitting here saying to myself, this guy in the red shirt, he doesn't have a projectile weapon like, say, a gun, where he can fire bullets off at you. It's just him. It's just his body. So the first thing that the cop does is that he hits him with the taser. You can actually hear the taser, but the taser doesn't really have any impact whatsoever, like none at all. It doesn't affect this person, which leads me to believe that this guy in the red shirt is most likely could possibly be on a drug, some type of a narcotic, where he's not feeling any type of pain whatsoever. He's just eating it. And then it's like the cop, quote unquote, was so scared of this dude that the craziest thing of just allowing this dude to get in his vehicle and drive off. Like y'all saw that he got in the car and drove away. Like it was nothing leading them on a high-speed chase, which of course ended with him crashing into another vehicle. Fast forward now into the actual news clip. So now we get a little bit more detail. That's when we find out that the person's name is William Williams. His parents must have had a wicked sense of humor to give him his first and last name, except they just put an S on the last name. He apparently got into an altercation with someone where he was trying to hit them with a wrench. I noticed they're outside of a Target, so maybe that's where he was coming out of to have that wrench, or maybe he had it on him, but I don't know why anybody would be driving around with a wrench unless they are a plumber and they have a set of tools. But that's neither here nor there. And then you see more stuff in the video, like what you see in this picture where he tries to hit them with the baton, and when he hit them with the baton, then he just runs away. I'm like, we know, let's put all the cards on the table. If this William Williams was a black man, this would have played out a whole lot differently, and I don't want to hear anybody say otherwise. Because again, it's amazing the protocol that these cops go to and follow when it comes to non-black individuals, especially PC men. How many times have we seen on the internet over the years where we've seen PC men get into it with the cops in a physical way and they don't deal with them in the way that they would deal with us, and we don't even have to do much. That whole stop resisting and just comply goes out the window. And I noticed that when I was looking in the comment section of the actual news clip, I didn't see those comments. And I looked at a few of them. None of them said anything about comply, stop resisting, none of that. They seem to want to be more, it was one or two things you saw. This guy's clearly on drugs, or that the cop did a good job in doing his actual job. Like I said again, we live in two different Americas. It's a two different type of justice system that we're dealing with here. And I need black people, if they don't get it by now, if they don't understand that by now, you better hurry up and figure it the hell out, because they already figured it out. That's why they keep acting on it. This guy, this William Williams, was walking around like he had balls of steel, because he was like, oh, this guy's not going to do nothing to me. He just shot me with this taser, but it had no effect on me. Wow, he hit me with the baton, but that didn't do nothing to me either. And he ran away. The minute that this cop ran away from him in fear, this William Williams dude knew he had the upper hand. He knew at that point he was unstoppable. He probably felt invincible at that moment. And he pretty much did, because they let him get in his car and drive off. After all of that, he got in his vehicle and drove away before he crashed later on. It turned into a high-speed chase when it didn't need to be one. But you have people out here that refuse to call it what it is. This is nothing more than PC privilege on steroids. Of course, we're going to call it out because we know what it is. We don't even have to do an ounce of what this guy did, and we will still get hemmed up. Keep in mind the video that the story I just talked about with what I think the guy's name was Michael Washington, with that big-headed, slope-headed Dana Elmore, who tased this man in his spine, all because he was changing a tire and was having a good time doing it. Meanwhile, this guy literally was being aggressive towards this cop, running towards him as if he was going to strike him. And what did the cop do? Run away. And they want to get on the news and commend the cop for doing a good job. That doesn't look like a good job to me. That looks like a person who doesn't need to be a cop. He didn't even make a rookie mistake. This guy's a whole amateur. He must have thought that uniform he was wearing was nothing more than a costume that you could have purchased at Party City. And they were playing cops and robbers, or cops and the bad guy. I don't know. But it's the fact that you have people out there who will look at this and will not call it for what it is, but they will look at what happens with a black person who's not even doing anywhere near what this is and say it's this and say it's that, further insulting all of our intelligence. That's the part that really grinds my gears above all, because as y'all know, insulting my intelligence is one surefire way to piss me off and get on my bad side and stay there. Allow this man to just run around. And by the way, at the time of me recording this, they don't even have his mugshot. I went and typed in a few keywords into Google, like William San Diego, because this is where it happened at. All it has up there is like a little screenshot from the news clip, which looks sort of like this one that you see on your screen right now. No mugshot at all. Now, if they do happen to put a mugshot in there somehow, some way, by the time I upload the video, I might most likely have to put it on the thumbnail, and that's as much as you'll see as the mugshot goes forward, or I might have to edit it in somewhere in this video. But as of now, mind you, this happened on the 7th. It is now the 10th. He's been apprehended and arrested, and there's still no mugshot of him. All they have is his name and his age. His name is William Williams, and he's 47. But we don't have any mugshot, clear picture of this man outside of what was recorded on that video. But they want to sit up here and pretend like the privilege they have is not real. Remember at one time they tried to say, oh, we can't have PC privilege. Well, they said we can't have white privilege because we're not rich. It has nothing to do with your money. It has nothing to do with your financial status. That has nothing to do with it. It's the fact of your skin color. And that's another way that they try to insult our intelligence, because they put out that BS, say, oh, we can't have it because we're poor or we're middle class. It has nothing to do with your financial standings. It has everything to do with your race. And they know that, but they try to play dumb. So like I said, this is a textbook example of not only Operation Protect the White Boy, but also how PC privilege works in this establishment, how one thing works for one group and how another thing works for another group. Now, guess what they probably going to try to do? They're probably going to try to scramble to see if they can find an instance where this happened with a black person and had the same outcome. Well, let me hypothetically put it this way. If you were to find that, you're not going to find many. Because see, there's a difference between the exception and the rule. If this was to go on with a black person, that's the exception. This, what happened with this William Williams guy, is most definitely the rule. I've seen instances where I think it was in Virginia, where you had this PC guy literally running around butt naked. He just attacked somebody, I think with a knife. When they was trying to apprehend him, they literally let this guy run around naked, no clothes on, nothing, and he was attacking this cop who had this big gun. I don't know what type of gun it was. All it would have took was one shot, and you let him run up on you and attack you while he has no clothes on. Another one I saw was when this one PC man got into it with the cop for a routine traffic stop. The guy literally, after he pushed the cop on the ground, ran around to the side of the driver's side of the cop car, got in it, and drove away with the car while the siren was blaring. Left the cop stranded right there on the side of the road in the dirt. All because they want to handle them with kid gloves. There are so many more instances, and what I'm telling, the two instances that I told you, you can go and find those videos online right now. Those instances, those two particular incidents play out in my mind over and over again when I even think about, let alone talk about, stories like this one. They never say they were resisting. They don't bring up the just comply nonsense, none of it. They just let it do its thing. Let them do their thing. I'm telling you, it's two different Americas we are living in. And this right here is extreme proof of that.